We love to tell you about things that are going on specifically outside, giving you a chance to enjoy nature right here in our backyard. Speaking of nature, a nature sanctuary spring walk from Orchard Lake and West Bloomfield Parks is actually happening very soon this month. And joining us to talk a little bit more about that, we have naturalist from the Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary, Carol Fink, joining the Splash Live. Thank you for joining us, Carol.
Well, thanks. Pleasure to be here, Kevin. Thank you.
Absolutely. We have what I would consider a very unique event going on here in West Bloomfield. What is the significance from your perspective of this spring nature walk event for our community?
The significance is having people come together to be out of the madness and the craziness and spend some peaceful, beautiful, introspective time in the woods. It's absolutely beautiful and healing and peaceful.
Nice. I absolutely agree with that. You know, sometimes I'm just driving to work and I drive past the lakes early in the morning, right when the sun is rising. And that's when it's the most peaceful part of my drive, when I'm driving past something that's nature, lakes, woods, forest, that type of thing, and going outside and breathing in that fresh oxygen from the trees and that nature of that trail, hearing the birds. I imagine it has to be extremely refreshing. So this is also, like we said, a collaboration between Orchard Lake and West Bloomfield Parks. Can you talk about how this collaboration came together?
Sure. We have the Grand Slam over here. We have this incredibly beautiful sanctuary that's owned by Orchard Lake, the city of Orchard Lake, and now we're combining the Greater West Bloomfield Historical Society, West Bloomfield Parks and Rec, the City Hall, and the city. And the best part is all the people from the community of all ages. And Kevin, you really nailed it. And you have the secret to life. When you said you were driving and you noticed the sun, you noticed the trees, you smell the oxygen.
Yes.
That's what we need to do. And that's just what you're doing. But just watch for the car in front of you.
Yeah, I know.
Slam on the brakes.
Good point. Yeah, I shouldn't be distracted. That is a great point. But getting back to the root of it, no pun intended, nature is what it's all about. We mentioned this before on the show, being grounded. Now, that's something I like to do when I like to take my shoes and socks off, go outside and literally just let my feet touch the ground. Now, that's not going to necessarily be the case with this situation, but like you said, there is a great significance with this event in the community. I want to know, with you being a naturalist, this is what I'm curious about from your perspective. How does this tour contribute to the preserving of local history and nature?
That's a great question. If we take the history part of it, when you're in the woods and you're looking at ancient rocks, very old trees, you're looking at soil, you're looking at trees that have decomposed, gone back into soil to make new trees. This goes back in time to, days long ago. This is the same land that our Native Americans walked on hundreds of years ago. So the history starts not just last week. Our history goes back, to the glaciers. So when I'm hiking in the woods, I always feel that the long, long, deep history of the woods. So the more that we can have people come out and enjoy what's going on, I think the better we all feel. It doesn't matter if you're 2 years old or 102. There's always something that we get from the forest, and we give back to the forest with kindness and love.
No,
don't get me started.
No, I want you to get started, Carol. Because I'm already there with you when it comes to nature and connecting with it. And I want to ask you a question a little bit later on in regards to that. But no, you hit the nail on the head. Now, for one, it can be very peaceful when you're out on the trails, enjoying nature by yourself. Don't get me wrong. But I like this event because we're bringing the community together. And like you said earlier, it's significant to have the community together, especially now that outside is getting better. There's a lot of madness and craziness in the world. Internet talk. Let's get off of Facebook. Let's meet each other in person. That's what I think is key right now. And joining us right now again is from the Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary, Naturalist Carol Fink, talking about their upcoming event, Nature Spring Walk, in collaboration with Orchard Lake and West Bloomfield Parks also. Do you have any interesting stories from doing any of these tours that stands out to you personally?
Every day's a story out in the woods. I think being in the presence of we've got some very mighty trees out there, and taking time and sitting, the trees talk to us, and listening to the trees. And I know I was meditating once or many times, so we can talk about that too in a bit.
Yes.
And I'm sitting with my back against a tree, and I'm having what we call monkey mind. Your mind is just spinning in a million different directions. And the tree does, they do talk. We breathe with the trees, right? We breathe in oxygen, we expel carbon dioxide. The trees breathe in carbon dioxide and expel oxygen.
Right.
So we are breathing and we are alive with the trees. So I'm hanging out on this beautiful tree, and my mind is going a million miles an hour. And it's hard to say if you feel it or if you hear it, but it's an intuitive knowledge. The tree says to me, stop the chatter and breathe with me. And it was so clear that I had, come back and breathe with the tree, and it calms me right down. Yeah. So it's that big connection that we have with nature, and all of us have it. And there's no wrong way to connect with nature. She's there waiting for us. She gives us gifts. So the experiences, what may be subtle and not giant. I mean, the experiences of watching, watching a turtle on a log. It's not a giant experience. It's the peaceful beauty of nature. So it's learning to tune in your senses to what is so beautiful and real out there in nature time. It's very pretty pictures.
Carol, you're talking facts right here. You already listen, you don't have to convince me. When I tell them, they think I'm crazy. They say, I don't believe Kevin. What does he know? He's just on the splash a lot. But when it's coming from a naturalist like you, a professional like you, Carol, it makes so much more sense. But you already know, like I said, I completely agree. We have to take time out from that natural hustle and bustle of life, the city life that we live. Take some time to connect. Hear what nature is telling you, the universe is telling you, whatever you believe in. Take that time, Carol. I'm right there with you. I understand. So how do you feel?
You got it, Kevin. Yes, you do.
Exactly. How do you feel the Historical Society engages with the community in general with the events that you all throw? Why is that important?
Well, we're very, the Historical Society is so important to our community because this is our history, going back to Paleo Indians, going back up to the present. Right. So we try to engage our whole community, whether it's our water systems, our rails to trails, some of our historic buildings, and our beautiful lakes and green spaces. So the more that we can promote that and help people enjoy what we have, we're so lucky to have all these lakes, rivers, and streams.
That's a fact.
Yeah, it's really. So that's how I think we help as a historical society. We please come to the museum. There's so much to learn about going on there.
Yeah.
Oh, and when we have our hike, I want to encourage people before I forget. The hike only is about an hour and a half to 2 hours, but please come early, stay late. Don't just wait for an event to come and be in the woods. If you're driving home and you need to pull into a nature sanctuary, just pull in. Don't wait. Don't hurry up and come home and watch the news. That's waiting for you. But stop and enjoy the moment. Now, while you're in the woods, it is tick season, and they are kind of waiting for us. So make sure I recommend that you wear long sleeves, shirts. I recommend you wear long pants, and it looks a little dorky, but you can tuck your socks over your pants because ticks are, they wait for us to come in, and they like to feed on us. So I would never say don't come in the woods, but make sure that you come prepared. Bug spray is good if you if you like it. I recommend to stay on the paths, but I'm also going to say go off the paths and explore the beauty. Don't tell anybody. Oh, we're on television. But before you walk off the path, ask Mother Nature, is it okay if I come off the path? Don't tell anyone. Right. And sit by a tree. Just sit and observe and be. So we can't always stay on the path in life. I know I can't, but I'm usually in trouble.
Carol got
bars. But go off the path. Thank Mother Nature. I hope I don't crush any flowers. Thank you for letting me walk off the paths. Even when we have our tour, we're expecting quite a large turnout, which is good news. I also recommend to people, I have field guides that I'll be bringing. Bring your field guides. We have some for you. You don't need to stay in a group. Just go out and explore. Nature's waiting for you. Nature we're a part of nature.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you hit on all the great points. I'm glad you even mentioned the fact of dressing appropriately, because we had to at least talk about that. We are walking through the woods, ladies and gentlemen. So, and it's so great that you mentioned it is tick season. No one wants to take any of these the friends from nature home. Let them stay at home in nature. So make sure you are wearing, and just like you said, it may seem dorky, but tuck your pants and your socks. I'll dress dorky. It's okay. I don't want any ticks home. So
dorky is in when you're in the woods.
I know, right? At least we know you're comfortable and safe. Well, Carol, thank you so much for your time talking about this event, the Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary Spring Walk. It'll be at the Orchard Lake, that'll be at the Pontiac Trail.
Correct.
Trail. It is free admission. Donations are accepted Saturday, April 28th, 2 to 3 p.m. Carol, any more additional information that you want to tell the community while we still have it?
I would say our parking lot's really small. So right across the street, I think it's a Montessori school or a school, and they invite us to use their parking lot. It's a Sunday, so the school isn't open. So there's a larger lot there. Please be careful crossing Pontiac Trail, crazy drivers, but that's good. So, if you have a bike, ride your bike. It's on a beautiful day, it can get really crowded out there. If it's a rainy day, bring your raincoat. There's nothing better than being in the woods. I recommend a raincoat, but hearing the raindrops, watching the drops that fall onto the pond, make these beautiful concentric circles that we have nothing to do with. It's all how nature designs things. So enjoy the rainy days.
Yeah. Oh, I am an advocate for that. I love to be outside in the rain. Hey, we can talk all day, Carol. I thank you so much for your time. Carol Fink, naturalist for the Orchard Lake Nature Sanctuary, talking about the spring walk event happening later on this month. Thank you again for your time, Carol.
Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.